When you watch videos or read articles about financial freedom, you may hear people drone on and on about how they're spending practically nothing so they can retire at a younger age like 30. Conversely, they may have already achieved financial freedom and are bragging about how frugal they were so they could retire well before the typical retirement age. This is what I hear. Sell all your stuff except the tent and move to the woods so you'll never have to pay rent or utilities again. Joking aside, realistically, most of us will not want to do these things required to retire at 30, 40, or even maybe 50. In fact, many people who are watching this are likely not to be saving enough to maintain their current standard of living during their golden years. If they retire at the age of 70, it pains me to report that about 21% of people have zero, zilch, nada saved for retirement. Planning for retirement, or even financial freedom, is a marathon, not a sprint. As the saying goes, breaking up your financial independence goals into smaller chunks can help keep you on track whilst making progress a little bit more manageable and hopefully a little less stressful. Even if you are starting small, the important thing is to get started. Now, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom usually means having enough savings, financial investments, and cash on hand to afford the kind of life we desire for ourselves and our families. It means growing savings that enable us to retire or pursue a career we want without being driven by earning a set salary each year. There is no set number to strive for that will help you reach this goal, but there are indicators that you can research and that can show you that you're on the right path. Financial freedom is attainable, but it will take hard work and discipline in order to achieve. Here are a few steps, an example of a path that you can take towards financial freedom. Level 1. Not living paycheck to paycheck. The first level of financial freedom is building up an emergency fund. Ideally, this will include paying off any credit card debt as well. Unfortunately, living paycheck to paycheck is the reality of millions across the world. According to the Federal Reserve's report on the economic well-being of the US households in 2017, some 40% of households could not cover a $400 unexpected expense. Most of us will have some unexpected bills pop up throughout the year, such as car repairs, medical bills, and nights out drinking with friends. Having an emergency fund will come in handy during those type of situations. Level 2. Enough money to quit your job just for a bit. Financial freedom is all about making work an option. Saving enough money to quit your job forever is a huge undertaking. Accumulating enough money to be able to take some time away from your work is a big jump in that direction. This does not mean you have to quit your job, but it sure is a good feeling knowing that you can. For extra credit, you may want to save up for an extended vacation. I dream of spending a month or two in a foreign country each year. By no means will I be quitting my job, but I will be taking some planning in order to get away from my financial firm for that long. In the shorter term, that extra money could also serve as your emergency fund. I mention that just in case some of you want some extra motivation to get to this level. Level 3. Enough to be financially happy and still save. This is a bit more about enjoying your life and having the money to do it. There is an immense sense of relief when you are earning enough to save, doing the things you enjoy, and still having extra time at the end of the month. That extra cushion can be used to move up your financial freedom dates. That, of course, assumes you avoid increasing your lifestyle and spending it. Level 4. Freedom of time. What many people desire is more flexibility in their schedule. Freedom of time and financial independence go hand in hand. Together, they are about leaving that rat race to follow your passion or spend more time with your family and not going completely broke doing it. It could come in the form of more paid off time, flex time, or perhaps working remotely on occasions. Not having to take a day off from work just so you can visit the dentist or take your kid to the doctor could be a huge benefit for some. Level 5. Enough for basic retirement. Do you know anyone who hates their job? I mean really hates it. I've met a few over the years Those individuals were willing to do almost anything to retire as soon as possible. Some considered doing things like moving to a foreign country with a low cost of living, selling their home, or getting roommates. I should point out that those people were closer to full retirement age. For those of you looking to retire early with financial freedom, think about what your bare minimum retirement would look like. Could you move to a place with a lower cost of living? Would you give up things like going out for dinner, working towards a nest egg that will support the bare bones lifestyle? You will probably decide against moving to that cabin in the woods without running water, but it might be nice to know that you could. Considering your bare minimum retirement and knowing you have enough money saved to at least cover some of your standards of living in your early retirement will also influence other life choices that you will make along the way. Such as, would you lease a new luxury car if you knew it meant you had to work for a few more years? Downsizing your house might be looking appealing if it meant you could retire now rather than 10 years down the line. Level 6. Enough to actually retire well. Assuming you are doing pretty well and happy with your current standard of living, what would you need to maintain your standard of living in retirement? Knowing you are on track to accumulate a nest egg to support your lifestyle is a big win. Gold medals go out to those people who have accumulated enough assets or passive income streams to be in a position to retire well. Level 7. Enough for a dream retirement. If you did not spend 40, 60 or more hours per week at work, what would your dream life look like? Would it include things like traveling more and spending more time with friends or family? Traveling the world, flying first class, or staying in nice hotels? Those things do not come cheap. Think big here. What would really bring joy into your life? How great would it feel knowing you're on track to have enough money to retire and be able to live your dream life? What is stopping you from getting there before you are 70 years old? And finally, level 8. More money than you could ever spend. This is probably the most exclusive level of financial freedom. Hopefully your financial freedom plan will allow you to outlive your money. Having more money than you can expect to spend is great. Building enough wealth so you cannot possibly spend all of it is another. This group will likely be filled with people who either won the lotto, inherited a fortune, or are founders of companies. Think Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. Even if they went and wanted to spend all their money buying planes, yachts, automobiles, they wouldn't even have the time to spend all of it. I note that both Gates and Buffett have pledged to give away a vast majority of their wealth when they pass. I would be unfair to count them as spending all their money. Take a look at where you think you fall on the levels of financial freedom. Use it as motivation to keep moving forward to your most important financial goals. Whilst I love what I do, and although I'm still decades away from full retirement, I'm right within the bare bones of retirement. If I stay where I am and retire comfortably, if I was willing to leave where I stay, who knows what the future holds and how far up the chain of financial freedom my household will climb. Where are you at? And where do you think you'll be in 5, 10 or 15 years? Hopefully this video helped understanding financial freedom and the steps it takes to reach this track and measure your progress towards the goals of being able to achieve a steady level of financial freedom. Leave your thoughts in the topic below and subscribe for more weekly business and financial content.